we late though?
Why are we late, Jolly? Go ahead, get the mic.
Hold on. Like, nah, we not gonna just put that all on me. Like, I was pulling up. It was nowhere to park.
Oh, it's no parking spaces.
What size car you had?
Oh.
First of all,
don't do that.
Moving along, Beyonka, can you start the show off? You gotta come for me on the low. Like, what size car did you have?
She really did.
You still throwing shade.
My bad. I'm sorry, brother.
Oh, name sorry. Okay. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You love him?
I love him.
You gotta show him love at all time, baby. You can shade it.
All right, my bad.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your girl Bianca, and I am inside the Playhouse with Brother Jolly, of course, for the Recipe Podcast. And we have some special guests with us tonight, and I'm gonna let our first guest.
Are they guests or are they just special guests? Like, should we pull out something for them since they special?
I did pull out a water.
Where's mine?
Where's mine? God damn, like
she's a special guest.
Some other type stuff, like you'll whip out the water for the special guest, and then we sitting over there, Coke dries out or what at this point, like.
You know they are so over the top. Y'all know I would hold on. As a matter of fact, we actually have an extra water, so. Oh, Jolly, I was trying to give it.
That's fine. I take it as prayer. I'm out the waterfall this joint.
Okay, I don't want y'all to be parched. They do always act like this. I was about to act like they didn't, but they do always act like this. But I want you to introduce yourself, I guess, to Jolly, of course, and to our followers.
All right, what's up, y'all? My name is Boog. Yeah, from East Baltimore, up and coming rapper. Hey. You know, it's happening with me. East Baltimore.
I like that East Baltimore.
Is that your entourage in the back?
In the back, yeah. That's my brother. Security guard.
Period. I love that.
I told him to get on the show, but he ain't coming.
She be trying to push people on the show.
Maybe he want to stay in the background.
He do. That's his
the
spot.
front door.
That's right. That's right.
I respect that.
It's the best thing in the world to have family that has your back. But your brother, of course. Yeah. This is my big little brother.
Yeah, don't worry, I got security.
He be securing. So tonight, y'all, I have them on here tonight to not only tell y'all.
What about the other guests? You just spoke about one guest.
You are my co-host. It be like that. Thank you, brother, because it be like that. You see that?
Didi. So we just want to mention.
You are reoccurring guest, man. Don't worry about it.
We not even going to talk about the other guests that's sitting next to her, like.
Damn, right here. We're not even going to worry about it now. Everybody know me. It's cool, but go ahead.
Who are you? Wait, who?
I'm Shay.
From where?
Around the way.
That's why they know you.
Damn.
Oh my gosh, y'all are jolly.
You feel me? That's how it
You know what?
It be like that.
Don't ask for no. Don't ask for no extra phone calls.
Don't do that.
That's what I'm saying. Cause since you want
accountability.
Yeah. We might have to bring that up as a topic.
Accountability as a topic. You know what we should though. We really should.
She always ready snap, and she wrong. But go
ahead,
continue. Introduce the show.
Anyway, anywho, y'all, you know tonight we're talking about mental health.
Oh dang.
And we are talking about friendships and loyalty. I think both of those, at first I thought mental health won. I did a poll, right? Like, which topic should we do? And I thought mental health won because immediately everybody was commenting mental health. And I was like, dang, like a lot of people might be struggling with mental health. A lot of people might be affected by someone else who has mental health issues going on. So let's go ahead and be serious. And I told Jolly last week, let's have fun. So I was like, okay, we're going to be serious this week. But then I saw a lot of the loyalty and friendships. And I even got inboxes of people asking me to talk about loyalty and friendships. So I figured maybe people are having some issues.
Yeah, I actually was definitely one of the ones that was like.
She definitely was.
Yeah, friendship and loyalty. Because people have definitely different understandings of what friendship and loyalty is.
Absolutely.
Loyalty, period. People have a misunderstanding for it. So I definitely think that would be a
great conversation.
Topic, yeah.
Great conversation to have.
Okay.
And then the last one was, well, no, it was two other ones, but the last one that was actually voted on, because nobody said they wanted to hear us talk about dating inmates. And
wait a minute.
And this is why that topic. This is why I'm saying this.
As an ex-inmate, I wouldn't advise against that. Just going to say that. I would not advise any women out there. Yeah.
But this is what made me want to talk about the inmates. I know you guys all saw like the couple that had the whole Facebook Live, and then the husband ended up killing the. I don't know if it was his wife or his girlfriend.
That was his wife.
Oh, his wife.
In prison while he
right.
was in prison.
She was a CO, and he was actually an inmate, and he came home and they got married.
No. They got married while he was locked up.
Oh, they got married while he was locked up. Okay, so when I learned about that story, I was like, this is crazy, because so many women, not only do they marry somebody that's incarcerated, but they also are losing their jobs because they become COs, and they go in here and they. Like the guy that was locked up in Maryland, downtown, and he had like five of the COs pregnant at one time a couple years ago. I'm like, damn, like, what am I missing? Like, because in relationships, we be craving time. We crave physical affection. We crave a lot of things that you can't get if you locked up. So I guess as an ex.
Why not? Because all they got is time. What? What? What is this saying? All they got is time to be together, because them shifts belong. The work shifts, they belong. Sometimes they gotta stay for a double. So that's you in there more time with them than your regular family.
Babe, you are genius.
No, that's just really just.
I didn't think about that. I really didn't, because I'm like, why are they falling for men in jail?
They
like,
always be on call too. So like,
Yeah.
you could have just left a 16-hour shift and gotta come in there because ain't nobody show up.
And so now they actually happy to go to work because
they get to see that booty. Little booty from over East Baltimore.
Okay, so I get it now. Okay, so look, we don't even have to have that topic, but the fact that nobody voted on it, I was like, I wonder if they thinking like, where her mind at? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want y'all thinking I'm on some crazy stuff. I thought that was a good conversation to have. And then the next one that it was voted on, shout out to Rue, because she not only voted on it, she advocated for it heavily.
No, I'm messing with you. Shay like, nigga, it's you.
She's scared as shit. She's scared as shit because she's sitting in front of him. And she's
my fucking big toe. Like, that's all. Yo, he would have to pay me for the rest of my life, because I wouldn't have went to work.
You know what?
I'd have been
For
the
your
third
toe.
wife.
Yeah, you really can't do shit without your big toe. You think about it.
Literally.
Yeah.
When am I climb?
Don't worry, I got insurance.
What you want to climb? You know what?
But we good
But
over
thank
here.
God it ain't your big toe. Or your pinky toe or your big toe.
Right.
But the next one was red flags and green flags in relationships. So I promised I will bring that topic next week. I feel like maybe we can talk about that next week.
Okay.
But that was advocated for very heavily, but unfortunately it did not win. So we're going to talk about those red flags that you should be paying attention to, and green flags that let you know, okay, maybe this is the person I should continue a conversation with, because most of the time you know that on the first time you meet a person. Like, you ignore the red flags because you...
I'm going to chime on it.
When we do the topic, yeah. We gonna,
Oh, so you want to do a red flag?
No!
Somebody called a red flag.
I'm just saying, because like,
No,
Dr. Umar Johnson gave an exceptional dissertation on it, talking about that stuff.
Okay.
One thing for certain, two things for sure, is Dr. Omar Johnson is your goddaddy. Because every show, I promise you, he is talking about Dr. Omar Johnson. So I gotta start. I don't really watch him.
Tune into the brother. Like, you gotta put aside the propaganda and the politics and actually listen to some of the stuff that he be talking about. Because some of the stuff that he be talking about is real. Like his take on ADHD. Like, a lot of people feed into that stuff and they start to feel like, okay, at a young age, you got to get your child checked out at 4 years old because they might have it. How in the hell can you diagnose a child at 4 years old with ADHD and stuff like that? So
yeah. Okay, I'm a try man. But what one was the mental health and the friendship and loyalty. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, we're going to get to know our special guest tonight. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I don't even know. Like, I'm one of those, like, chill, laid-back people until, like, you piss me off for real. Like, I'm real cool. Like, I'm the type of person, like, we go to a party or something, I'm the one dapping up everybody. And then you like, who that? I'm like, I don't know. They know me.
Oh, okay.
Stuff. So, like, I just started doing music probably, like, a year and a half ago, really taking it serious for real. Like, everybody around me was always into music, so I was just, supporting them, being that person.
Okay.
And then, like, I lost my uncle. I was like, damn, like, I need something to get my mind off of it. But, like, at the time, I wasn't really thinking about it like that. So then I went to my homeboy, little garage setup. Mm-hmm. We started recording some music. He showed me how to do it before he got locked up. And then, like, I just started mixing and recording on my own stuff for real. And just...
So I heard a couple of your tracks, and they definitely dope. Definitely got catchy beats. Definitely dope lyrics. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it's giving. That old school feel a little bit. So, since you've been recording, and I see you doing a lot of things now, and people are noticing who you are, how is that changing your life?
It's making me just busy. Like,
you busy? You can't lay back and chill and do nothing?
I mean, I can, but it's like as soon as I sit down, turn on like an episode of The Shy or something, it's like, dang, I gotta answer this DM. I gotta do this. I gotta go here and stuff like that. Yeah. So like just basically juggling all that stuff, and then I still work 2 jobs too. So like it's just like a lot of back and forth for me.
Okay. So what is
busy?
Yeah.
Right. Right. How is that affecting your mental health?
Some days I be like a little stressed out trying to figure out like, should I do this? Should I do that? Like, should I call this person to come through with me and stuff like that? But I mean, most of the time music actually helps my mental health. Like when I start getting like in those dark spots, when it's like feeling like everybody against me and stuff like that, I just put my headphones on, start listening to music, start writing, and just in the booth.
Okay. So who's the artist that has inspired you to be the type of artist that you are? Because you said you got that old school. It did feel like a touch of old school when I was listening to your tracks.
I like old Lil Wayne. Like old Lil Wayne. That's something different right there.
We was talking about that. We was talking about the old Lil Wayne. That's funny because
I don't know who he is today.
Yeah, me either.
I listen to that. I tried to get through that album.
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't want to speak on somebody else's mental health, but you know, things change, like, you know, within time. And
that's definitely an alter, a mental, mind alter.
Yeah, because it seems like you can tell his mind is not the same. Not only that, his
hair, his skin. Okay, I am sick and tired.
Yo,
he needs to cut it.
I'm about to shift it.
Now, at that point, when you looking like that, like an ant.
I'm about to shift this.
Thank you. Come on.
So we were talking about. I did have a question for you though. So you. Yo, I can't.
I'm sorry.
I'm about to slide you up here. I can't.
I'm sorry, Wayne.
So, like I heard her saying that I haven't listened to your music yet or whatever. So what do you feel like sets you aside from different artists here in the city?
Because like I make music off of like how I'm feeling in the moment. So you never gonna hear like the same shit from me. Like it's always gonna be something different depending on my mood. And like I feel like everybody just be trying to find like, you know, a catchy hook or like just a catchy verse. I'm just trying to make music from like the heart for real. And I think that's what set me apart. Everybody looking for everybody else's like approval and stuff like that. But me, I'm just doing it because I love it.
That's good. No, that's good. Now I was just curious or whatever because I hear a lot of artists. We got a lot of talent here in Baltimore, but some of it, I personally feel, it's my opinion, that it's not channeled in the right direction. That's why I was curious because like all you hear is the same shit. It's just
different beat.
Yeah, different beat and somebody else's voice is on it, but it's the same thing. It's talking about the same thing, and a lot of times, like even now, when I be with my family, sometimes my cousin and my homeboys, they're like, "Yo, why you still listen to that same old stuff?" And I be like, "Cause it ain't nothing different than what they talking about. Like literally, like majority of the new artists that come out." that sing the same thing.
Yeah.
They just beat different, like you said. The tone is different or whatever. But
The tempo.
since you saying it's different, I ain't saying I won't blast it yet, but I'm gonna get in the car and I'm gonna head out or whatever for it because I like to hear new things or whatever.
Yeah.
But that new car is Garbino. But anyway.
Yeah. I think that's what made me, because as soon as I pressed play on it, the first one that I did in the video, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, this is dope. And you know what it reminded me? I don't even know the artist's name, but he was like a one-hit wonder. And he had that tag, I'm so mad I can't think of it, but he had a beat to his song that made you immediately vibe with it. That's how that song was. It's like your beat is making you immediately vibe with your song. And then your lyrics are definitely fresh. So definitely good. I recommend it, brother. I wouldn't steer you wrong. You gonna try it out?
I'm gonna try it out because you're saying that the space that it's coming from, and that's what I like to hear.
Yeah,
I literally will pull up to somebody playing East 99.
Oh, okay.
You don't know what it is, you don't know.
Okay.
You young don't know what that is. East 99. Yeah, you know. But
some of them do though. They don't want to say that they do, but some of them do.
But so talk about this whole. I want to get into the loyalty and that friendship aspect of whatever.
Oh man.
So I'm gonna kind of shift into you or whatever. Like, what's your idea of loyalty?
For real, just have me how I would have you. The same way we carry each other when we face to face, that's how you supposed to carry that shit when we not together. Nobody should ever be able to come to me and say something that you was doing or say something that you was saying. Cause that right there, you was never with me from the jump. You just trying to see me as a meal ticket. Like, that's why I don't got a lot of people around me. Like, yeah, people know me. I know people, but I don't have friends. Like, if they're around me right now, they're my family. Like, I don't let too many people in.
Yeah.
That seems about right. Like, it's interesting you say that. Like, I talk to on a consistent basis. I talk to about a handful of brothers, like either throughout the week, every other day, something like that. Same, like literally, my guy, like I be rapping to him, the same goddamn barber for the past 20 plus years, like all that stuff, like because I realized about 11, 12, 13, 15, 31, hold that 2, put that over there. So for about I would say about 14 years ago.
Okay. Right, we was all like, wait a minute.
I was trying to follow the man.
I was doing
1960 or something.
About 14 years ago, a little bit more than that, maybe 13, 15. The point is, I made some choices, and I realized after those choices were made, I'm like, yo, ain't no way in this world I can just link up with somebody, they everything, and it's this, that, and the third. Like, you gotta be mindful, because dudes would be like, oh yeah, you my man, and then turn around and be like, yeah, it was you. So it's like, that shook me up a little bit, and it affected me. So now, 15 plus years or whatever, give or take 3, hold to 1, it's like, it's crazy, because I look at it like, yo, you got my back, you got my back.
Yeah.
It ain't supposed to be no, especially when we right next to each other, you ain't supposed to be coming across, because this, my man, and that's and all these other people, like, nah, chill. Like, it's been instances where as though, it's like, yo, y'all may not rock with each other, but I rock with both of y'all, and I'm not going to let y'all come in between there. That's loyalty on that type of level where you can be mature about that stuff. A lot of times, people take loyalty and just think that it's a word. It's like, I don't like, give me loyalty over love.
Absolutely.
Because love can go.
Yeah.
That's how it happened. Like, people be in relationships 5, 10, 20 years, whatever, and they be like, oh yeah, I love this person, this, that, and the third, and you hear it all the time, and then ultimately what happened is, I can't stand that mother, I hate that. It's like, well, goddamn, you just said you love him like 6 months ago. I want that. Give me the loyalty. And that's kind of like some of the things that I see now, even in my personal life. You start to question people, and it never kind of put you in the right space because you're like, yo, do this person really got me, or they don't. So I definitely feel you on that. But
I think for me, I had to learn how to change. I had to learn how to. You know what? I knew y'all was going. I knew they was going to do that. But I think for me, I had to get to a place of understanding like that you could be friends with somebody who is not friends with you. However, it depends. It depends on the loyalty for me is if you're friends with two different people who bitch.
Damn. You was watching TV?
I'm telling y'all it's my
Go ahead.
I won't say who it is, but they gonna think I'm crazy. But I'm telling you, see where it's at, right?
Yeah.
It's true. But because I heard you say like, you know, your loyalty shows like you're not gonna let two people get in a mix. Yo, stop. It's not. He's not letting it happen. Get in the middle of your relationship with them.
Yeah.
But shouldn't your relationship with them also be affected if that one person did something tremendously hurtful to the other person? Because to me, like the only way I can't be friends with you anymore, if we're all friends, I can't be friends with you if you did something that I know truly devastated and hurt him with no regard, with no apology, with no regard, with no remorse, with no empathy. It's just like, yeah, I did that shit, and like, you know what I mean? And you carry on with life. And meanwhile, my brother's over here, my friend over here is hurt and affected by it, and it's going to affect him for the rest of his life. It's no way I'm going to be like, listen, I know that she did that to you, but that's still going to be my friend. That speaks volumes on the type of person I am, because that means that I'm okay with being with somebody who is malicious like that. I'm okay with being somebody who's hurtful like that. Like, that is not okay. But I had to get to a place of understanding also that sometimes when friendships end, it's okay for somebody to be friends with the other person as long as y'all have an understanding. Like, it has to be an understanding there. Like, a level of respect there. And it also depends on that type of friend. Like, one of the things that I think bothered me when friendships ended and let me know that they were no longer loyal is because I knew the type of person that person was. You know what I mean? So I know, like you said in your statement, you know, you should not be having a conversation with somebody else like about me. Like, that shouldn't happen. You shouldn't even have to think about that. Because loyalty is whatever you say to me, that's no matter what happened between us, that it's still with me. But when you know you got a friend that is messy as a mug, okay? That friend talk about everybody and everything. That friend miserable, sitting in the house smoking a cigarette, waiting for somebody to come in with some more news. You know what I'm saying? With something else to talk about. So you know if y'all have an issue and y'all no longer friends, but that person is now friends with one of your friends, hold on, bitch, that means you being messy too, because I know that's a messy bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's a messy nigga. Like, I know the person. So we got to be accountable. You just said earlier, like, us having a show talk about accountability. So for me, I had to be accountable and understand, like, okay, wait a minute. But I was allowing myself to be in a friendship with that type of person. So I can't be mad now that other people are in a relationship or a friendship with that type of person. I just got to let the whole fucking posse go. Like, I got to let it got to all the way live be gone, and I got to be accountable for that within myself. Are y'all following me?
Yeah. So I have
Different perspective on that?
Yeah, absolutely, because I was placed in a situation, not to put my business out there, but to put my motherfucking business out. So,
yo, you are hilarious.
You know, I've been through a lot when it comes to friendships, because I take friendships so heavy, and I'm very loyal. When I mean loyal, I mean you don't fuck with them. Oh, I don't fuck with them. We a team. I'm loyal. Like, and that's just.
Thank you. The fuck?
Give me my fan. Okay, it's either one or the other, but this was too loud.
All right.
You see, they trying to take my fan, y'all. They trying to take my signature fan.
All right, well, let me do it. All right. So, because she'll slap that motherfucker like she got a point to prove. Ain't no, because it's my mic right now.
Okay, go ahead, baby.
So, You know, I was in a situation where I had a friendship with a young lady that I was best friends with for over 30 years. And since a baby, we were best friends. When I thought loyalty was loyalty, I thought that was loyalty for me. And when I got married, it exposed a lot of people. It exposed a lot of people.
Happiness will expose true friends.
Like literally. And I literally watched my best friend from 30 something years slip out of my life like it was nothing. Like literally blocked me. Took me off Facebook and blocked me from there. The reason was a young lady I put in my wedding that I was good friends with for over 15 plus years. Decided to go over her house. Not to put my business out there, but I'm putting my business out there.
You know what?
Decided to go to her house and tell her that me and my wife was speaking bad about her. First and foremost, if you my best friend, bitch, shouldn't no bitch come in your house and speak anything out of their mouth about me.
Yeah.
It should have been belt to ass.
Right.
It should have been belt to ass. Then you should have been calling me like, bitch, I just had to beat this bitch ass. But what was she talking about? Because I need to clear up some shit. That's what should have happened. But instead, she held on to it. And basically tried to turn my mother against my relationship.
Her mother didn't even speak to me at our wedding. Mind you, we had 2 weddings. So the
But
first wedding,
this my mic. This my mic.
Her mother ain't speak to me at
This
the
my
second
mic.
wedding
This
because
my
of her
mic.
friend.
This
I
my
just
mic.
had to put my piece in there.
But this is my mic though.
Thank you.
This one, mine.
This is my mic though. So,
Go ahead, baby.
and I'm not going to put all the business out there.
Because she wanted to do the show for a reason.
It's another friend that's involved. So I can't put all the business out there because of circumstances and reasons. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I almost lost 2 friends at one time. You know, all because of people not being loyal. You know, it should never be that you still carry on. I'm sorry. It should never be that you. I'm sorry. That might be my anger. It should never be that you carry on a full-fledged friendship with somebody that was you were introduced to.
Oh my gosh. True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, period. If I introduce you to them, you should not continue on a relationship, especially when you watch them snake me. Because that means if they were a snake to somebody for 30 plus years, that means you'll be a snake, even bigger snake to somebody you just met. Actually, you just a casualty of war. Hello.
Okay. So do you think
Wait a minute. I'm not finished.
Okay. Okay, baby. Go ahead.
I'm not finished.
Go ahead on your mic, baby.
So being loyal, Johnny.
Yo, I'm woke. I'm not. I'm just sitting here listening because I'm like, you trying to get your thing off. She keep blocking you.
I was going to ask you a question
All right,
about
what's
the
the question?
disloyalty.
What's the question?
Because what I was going to ask was, do you feel like because you said 30 plus years she was disloyal, but you didn't notice it. But you didn't notice it until the wedding. So do you feel like the disloyalty, like because of that one move, then that solidifies your whole 30 plus?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because couldn't nobody come and tell me anything about her.
For real.
Okay. Okay.
That's how I am too. That's why I lost like probably 4 friends same night over some shit like that.
Yeah. It shouldn't nobody be able to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Because that's when you comfortable.
Yeah.
When you comfortable enough to talk to somebody about me,
That's
that means
true.
you're talking about me with them.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
if-
And not in defense. You know what? Okay, right. Because if anything, if you want to come and have a conversation, and I get what you're saying, like she came in and had a conversation, it shouldn't even have been a full conversation where she was able to leave out with her hair done. You know what I'm
That
saying?
part for
She
my
left-
wedding.
She left, you know what I mean? It should have been like, hold on, you gonna come over here and talk about me and my wife? I mean, you gonna go to this and talk about my best friend and her wife? And you over here to get your hair done for their wedding? What type of grimy shit is that? So
For free.
if she, for free, what?
Beat her up first, ask questions later. But ask the question to you, not to her.
Yeah. So
People
I
don't be
get that.
understanding that.
Yeah, yeah, because the conversation really ain't a conversation that is really for it's really for you, but you gonna get it when you ready.
Right.
You don't need
and,
it at
and,
first.
and I really feel like, you know, when you loyal to somebody, no matter what, you always have their back.
Yeah.
But make sure that that person always keep it 100 with you, so you can always know why you got their back, whether they wrong or whether they right.
Mm-hmm.
But stay loyal to somebody.
Yeah.
Stay 10 toes down with somebody that you loyal with. Fight through everything with somebody that you loyal with, because it's reciprocation.
Yeah.
You know, don't be loyal by yourself.
Yeah.
See, I mean, when you look at the whole friendship thing and stuff like that, you talk about loyalty. My thing is this: there have been people like I look at sometimes my personal life, I integrate it in my business life, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the other way around. But what I mean by that is this: most people you interact with on a day-to-day basis, they're going to be a liability or an asset. And obviously, short version, liability is something that's going to continuously weigh you down. Asset is going to be something that's going to profit you or bring you profit. And sometimes we have relationships, kind of like what you said. You hold on to them joints,
Yeah.
and you always find yourself either doing this or constantly doing this, but it's not reciprocated.
Right.
So it's like, damn, this person I've been friends with this whole time, they're not even really a friend.
Right.
They're not even really beneficial to me. They more so of a fucking liability. So it's like, sometimes you gotta know when to cut them off. Even
And
in
sometimes
relationships,
we outgrow
unfortunately.
people.
That too.
And don't even know it, because we're not on the same wave, the same path,
Yeah.
the same journey as people. So when you're not on the same path or the same journey as people that you have grown up with, sometimes our loyalty is held off of the length of how long we've known somebody. And that's not always true.
And that don't even solidify the loyalty because of how long you've been friends with somebody.
Absolutely.
Because I mean,
In
God
a blink of an eye,
be
things can
removing
change.
people for a reason from
Literally.
your life. You know what I'm saying? To expose, you know, who they truly are, and the loyalty. That just don't. It don't. The time limit do not matter.
And trust and
you
believe.
can meet somebody. No, I'm gonna let you finish. But you can meet somebody within a short period of time. We met some people, you know, after our wedding. We've met people who have held us down, like who we know, like, dang, I can pick up the phone. Like, we didn't even have to ask. Just a few weeks ago at our kids' prom, her friend, somebody she just met in jury duty. Somebody she just
Stop saying that.
My
You
bad.
can say that.
Right, it's over. The case is closed. But what I'm just saying is, like, they was beating her phone down, like, yo, send me the address so I can come support your daughters. And meanwhile, half the people we invited that we've known forever didn't even show up to support our daughters. So that's what I mean. Like, the time do
don't
not matter. Like,
It really don't.
a person is who they are. It just takes us time sometimes to realize who a person is. And honestly, that has a lot to do with the mental health, because sometimes we are not in a good place mentally to where we will stay.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah, we will we'll hold on to them friendships that are completely disloyal. Like you said, like, you realize once you awake, once you're healthy, once you go through your healing journey, once you get to a better place and out of them dark spaces, then you start to realize, like, hold on a minute. Like,
I was just telling her today, not to cut you off, but I was just telling her today, like, I want to start surrounding myself with people that have way more than me. I want to surround myself with people that's an asset to me. Not in a malicious way, but something that I can learn from, that I can grow from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not in a malicious way.
Yeah.
But I want to be better. I want to be more in life. So you have to surround yourself with those like-minded people.
Right.
Because birds of a feather flock together.
Right.
So I can't hang with somebody that smoke all day, play the game all day. I'm at work working. what you doing?
Right.
I'm at work grinding. I'm at work trying to hustle. I'm at work and at my side hustle trying to build a family. I mean, trying to build something for my family.
Mm.
While you at home chilling, not trying to do anything with your life.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't hang with that group or
Yeah.
that classification of people because that's not who I want to be. That's not who I want to become.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to do is put myself in a room full of people that are millionaires and comfortable in life because I'm going to learn from them and I'm going to grow from them and they
Yeah.
can teach me.
And nobody's
But-
going to be trying to take, like, and break you down and
Yeah.
pull from you.
Right.
You know, one of the most beautiful things I've experienced is going to those conventions where they have like the business conventions and they have different business, you know, like networking events and stuff like that. Even networking events, not even the big conventions, networking events are amazing because everybody in there is excited about doing business and they're excited about talking about their business. They're excited about learning about your business. They want to know who you are. And I'm sure everywhere you go, there's some snakes in the room somewhere. But 90% of the people that you meet at these events are like immediately like just happy to know you. Whereas though if you coming from like places, we all from Baltimore, okay? You coming from, just chilling to an event like this, you coming from people that are like, why are you dressed like that? Why are you dressed up? Where are you going? Why are you going to that event? Like, what you doing that? Man, we could put our money together and start a business together as opposed to, let me go get dressed too so I can go to that convention with you so that we can learn some things and we can build. So that's what you mean, like, not trying to sound shady to the people that we are around because we are around some good people. But, however, we just want to continue to elevate to being around good people. Because, like, she gave up friendships that was 30 plus years. God removed a whole, just like you said, 4, God removed about 10 from me at one time. And I was so broken about it because I'm like, what did I do to deserve that? And God was like, I'm going to show you. Immediately, I started seeing like why he removed those people from my life. And absolutely not one of those people, none of them were an asset to my life. None of them were a blessing to my life. All of those people I have done something for. All of those people I was an asset to. They were all on my coattail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, he removed them for a reason so I could be able to actually move. I was cleaning earlier and this came in my mind. I was thinking about a situation I had with my daughter and these words really came in my mind. Like, you know how people say, I'm just waiting for my blessing to come. And it was like, well, your blessing is waiting on you too. But your blessing is not going to see you until you're not going to meet your blessing, and your blessing not going to meet you until you are prepared to meet it. So until you get yourself ready, until you get yourself together, which means you may have to let go of some friends. You may have to change your mindset. You may have to learn some things. You may have to go through some transitions mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in order to get prepared for the blessing that God has you. So a lot of times we be stagnated in life and we be stuck and trying to figure out like, when am I going to get? Like, you're an artist and you out here, I'm sure you grinding and you hustling and you building your brand and you trying to get your name out there. I saw you got the showcase coming up. I used to do those showcases. And so I know how hard it is, but you may be thinking, why are you going like, dang, how many showcases I got to do? How many times I got to go up here on stage and show these people what I got until I'm on a big stage? But you got to be able to really embrace that journey and every part of it for God to really mold you into who it is he needs you to be so that you can have that blessing that he has for you. And that could mean that you got to let go of a lot of people. You got to let them go and be okay with letting them go. And mentally and emotionally, that is strenuous. Like, that's something that takes a toll on you.
That's mental health issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's hard mentally. Like, I didn't even, now that I be looking back, I'm like, what the heck was I even upset, mad, irritated, or sad about losing all of those friends? Like, I didn't lose them. I actually am blessed that they gone because they were not an asset to my life. They literally were messy, miserable, and just a hot mess. So it's just like, I'm grateful, but I was sad. But I was sad because I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared to like let go of all of that.
It's
but
like
once I let it go, it was a relationship. But once I let it go, it was like, I could see clearly now. Real spill. So it's like you be scared to make moves and you be scared to let go of certain things. But once you let it go,
elevate with bricks on your shoulder.
Yeah. And moving with those bricks, that's that mental health part. So let's tap into this mental health part. I mean, the mental health one first over everything, but we was talking about loyalty and friendship because that actually goes into mental health. Your loyalty, the only time your loyalty will break is because your mental health ain't right. You ain't right mentally. You got to do some healing.
Well, that's part of the problem, though, right there. Though, like a lot of people, they think that. Like I remember, it's a rather large mental health company that I work with from time to time, and I remember I started working with them at an extremely young age.
Okay.
Like when it wasn't where it's at today.
Uh-huh.
With mental health
Uh-huh.
and how you can view certain signs. And I never realized that small things that people may not think about,
Yeah.
that they actually need to go and seek the help. But if you do something like, okay, let's say you want to do weight loss, for example. I'm shifting this a little bit. But if you want to do weight loss, you can't do it for 20 days and then say, I'm going to hop off this diet in order to see results. You have to stay with it. You have to stay committed. And it's the same thing when you're dealing with mental health. You have to stick with it. Now, if you feel like you're healed from it, then okay, that's one thing. But you can't go through X amount of years plus a trauma or whatever and deal with something and say, okay, it's over with in 1 month because I got the idea. No, you got to talk. You got to continue to talk about these matters because sometimes, even when you and I have private conversations, it's like, okay, I see now where you're coming from. I can see now how you expressing this particular story to me can make you or put you in a headspace like this.
Yeah.
So if somebody's not seeking that on a consistent basis until they feel as though they are truly healed, as opposed to, I don't want to hear it no more, or I'm not trying to, you running away from the situation as opposed to sticking with it and trying to better yourself. So when you talking about the loyalty, it's like, bro, do you actually understand that the reason why you keep doing this is because you got some issues that you need to work out within yourself.
Right.
And instead of some people saying, maybe I need to step back, maybe I need to do this, maybe I just need some QT,
Yeah.
they don't think about that. I know I recently, with everything I got going on or whatever, I started doing small stuff. Like in the middle of the day, I might go out, get myself some breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Just me sitting down there, you know, fat boy, let it eat. That's what I do. I recently started doing it because I'm like, I gotta do, because you pour so much into the world, into the universe, especially when you had a position I had, and it's like, I can't. I need just, even when I started this thing, I think about within the past month and a half, 2 months, I also started going to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Nina was too bad. Yo, Nina was too bad.
No, you really like doing that?
I'm trying to tell you, like, with Arthur, and it was like, maybe I could have taken that. Not that they, and it was like, maybe I could have taken that. Not that they stink, or it's not that they don't know this.
Sorry, y'all.
It's not that they don't feel like this. It's more so because they are.
Let me talk to the people, okay? Because clearly, like you said, we're not a multi-million-dollar, but we're back, okay? And we're gonna get there.
So it's just that.
Hey,
they feel
Facebook.
like these things are an actual thing. That's really what it is. So they don't do the things that some people would think about doing, and then some people don't want to address their issues because they think that it's not an issue. How do you go see a therapist? You got real mental health issues, real trauma issues. You go see a therapist full time and say the therapist isn't working. Are you opening your mind up to it?
You know, a lot of people really say that. They say, I don't want to go to a therapist because it ain't going to help me, but you have to pick and choose who works for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And not only that, you have to be willing to talk. You have to be willing and allow somebody to get into your space.
Yeah.
That's so true. And another thing I don't like, because I do not like that statement at all when people say I don't want to go to therapy. Like, everybody to each his own. But to me, it's like, it's one thing when somebody says, like, I don't want to take modern day medicine, but I'll take some herbs. So if you don't want to,
Referring to Bob Marley, aka Grass, aka
yes, okay, because I'm one of those people too. Like, I don't want to take. No, I mean, like, no, but I'm saying, like, they'll take like natural healing, stuff instead of taking like actual medicine over the counter. They'll go get some natural, like some black. I'm talking about some black seed, turmeric, some of those things. I'm not talking about the Bob Marley, but even if they want to do the Bob Marley, it's still like you want to do one or the other. But if you just say like, oh no, I don't want to go to therapy, I don't believe in therapists, and I don't want to do that, then what are you? But people cannot believe in it, and that's fine. I'm a super advocate for therapy because I was one of those people that did not believe in therapy either at first. I used to have to go to therapy, but I would just be like, girl, you don't.
Still me. Go ahead.
I wish you knew him well enough to just feel comfortable enough to just knock him. But no, I get not wanting to do something because you just don't believe in it. And honestly, I just believe it's our culture that, of strong black men that even though, they may not really be as strong as they are appearing to be, they have to continue that appearance. And a part of that appearance is continuing the traditions.
Black women too.
Black women as
You
well.
said strong black men kind of just went off with that.
Strong black women too. The strong, like, I have to be Sister Soldier. My father always be calling me Sister Soldier. You got to be Sister Soldier. Well, you can maintain holding that hand up and you can maintain that disposition. But when you breaking apart on the inside, when you hear about somebody as 35 that had a heart attack out of the blue, or 29 and they had an aneurysm, it's because they had so much going on that they did not treat themselves. They did not take care of themselves.
A lot of people just need rest.
Yeah, rest. But let me tell you why therapy is good, okay? And I'm just talking directly to y'all. I already done walked across the camera. I done got up and close and personal with y'all on YouTube. So, but listen, and I just want to say that was an emergency call, and I had to take that call because I've been waiting for one of my children to call, and y'all know my kids mean the world to me, and I just want to say he is doing okay. Thank you. But anyway, therapy is super important because we talk to our friends, right? We talk to our family, but we are never going to be 1,000% with them. We ain't telling you. I ain't telling her everything. I love her.
What you mean?
I'm
You
not
not tell me everything?
Keeping secrets, are we?
Are we?
Spill the
we gonna get
tea.
you to
Spill the tea.
What are we missing? Hello.
Shut
You
up.
tell me everything?
You know what I'm saying, because you got a lady, so you may not, you have some things that you might want to say, but that's just not what you going to be able to say to her. You're not going to be able to say everything you want to your friends, to your brother back there. You might be able to tell him, you might feel like I could tell him everything, but what's some things that you ain't going to be able to tell him. Therapy, when I realized that I could go into this room and this lady had to sign basically an NDA or whatever, because she can't go out here and tell nobody what you talking about. So I
told every fucking thing. She couldn't wait for that day.
No,
She could
this was
not.
crazy. I have been in therapy for years,
But on her mind.
I have been in therapy for years, but this one particular year, 2015, I started having extremely bad anxiety attacks, and I did not know that anxiety it affects your legs. So my legs were severely affected. Like it would feel like I had 1,000 pins in my leg. It was hard for me to walk. And I'm thinking like, no, something's wrong with me. Get MRIs, getting all these tests. And my therapist is like, it's anxiety. She's so calm. It's anxiety. It's okay. I can give you this medicine. I promise you it'll go away. She gave me the medicine the next day. I was completely fine. No pain, walking straight. I went back. The only thing was I didn't have any emotions or any feelings. And I didn't, and that's what scared me. Because back then, I have a lot of children. Okay, so I had a whole car full of kids taking them to school in the morning rides to school.
You know, it's like
Oh! So whole lot of cheering back then. So the whole ride, I had a big Suburban back then. Shut up. They your children too now. Congratulations. I just want to say congratulations.
I'm so glad all of them are grown down there.
Shade. Okay, but anyway,
They
so
are.
we in the Suburban and we're driving to, I'm driving them to school, and every morning it's like my moment to like laugh and just enjoy my kids because I love taking them to school. This particular morning, I couldn't like even comprehend what was going on. Like, I knew how to drive to the school. I knew how to get there. Once I got there, I sat there for like a cool 30 minutes trying to figure out like what is wrong with me.
Blank.
Like, I was really blank. Like, I didn't feel anything. I wasn't sad. Now, not that this is good, but every time I would drop my kids off, I would go sit by the water and I would cry for probably about an hour before I went to work. I didn't even feel like I needed to cry, and I know that was a good thing, right? But still, I needed to feel something, So I went back to the therapist, and I was telling her like my experience, and she was like, "Oh, that's what it's supposed to do." Nah, baby girl, I need something to take the pain away, but I need to be a human because I'm inhuman. This whole week, I have not felt any type of emotions. I don't even feel like I want to give my kids a hug. I don't feel anything. And that's the one thing that's keeping me here, to be able to have that love connection, through all of the darkness. So she was like, well, you also could start talking. And I was like, talking about what? Okay, and I was like, talking about what? She's like, what you're going through. You come here every week and you just sit here. And I was like, I be doing the little drawings and stuff. Like, I be over here occupied, and what you talking about? And she was like, we could just start small. So I was like, well, I honestly, don't think you could really help me. And that's how our conversation even started. Mm-hmm. After that conversation, I felt like better just leaving. I stopped taking the medication, and every time I went in there, I realized this lady got to listen to her. She was quiet. Normally, she be talking. She was quiet. So I'm like, this lady got to listen to everything that I say. And this is her job. And she was giving me some super legit, like, feedback that was helping me. So I stopped taking the medication and I started talking. And that's the whole moral of this whole thing. Like, the medication for some people probably is good. Mm-hmm. But I would say get a therapist just so you can go into a room with somebody that don't know you. She don't know your cousin. She don't know your mother. She can't call nobody and tell nobody about you because legally she could get sued. So this is the best place and the best person to be able to go and just give them all of that. Give them all of that. Like, release all of that. Every
goddamn psychiatrist.
Even a psychiatrist. Yeah. Even a psychiatrist.
Like,
yeah.
They need that. They need that inhumane shit.
Yeah.
They need not to be doing nothing else but sitting there and shutting down up. Some people need.
Some people do need that.
Like, for real, like, because some people be so like emotionally imbalanced. Like, one day they're like this, one day it's either that or they just can't simply get it together because everything that's being presented to them in a positive light, no matter if it's this person or that person, some people just can't get it together because they don't understand structure too. Mm-hmm. And that's something else that I realized. Like, obviously you got some people in stand case, if you overstructure something, it can turn out the opposite. But if you bring about that balance, then you can be pretty much solid. Mm-hmm. Like, even with raising children. Yeah. Like, I know the role that I would have liked to play in my oldest child's life, and I know the role that I ultimately end up playing. But even to this day, it's like, it ain't too many kids out there that's respectable like that. They don't understand the difference between this is respect, this is disrespect. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem with our society now. You got a lot of people running around here with that non-structured kind of energy. And when you kind of look at it on a mental health care, it's like, okay, you got issues. Yeah. But you don't want to address the issues. Yeah. So guess what? Those same issues, the kids won't have because you're going to teach to them and you're going to be doing it unintentionally. Yeah. It's just going to be like a natural thing or whatever. Again, taken from another good author, Dr. Joy D. Garrard. She talks about in a lecture that she gives, she talks about how we pass things down to our children through the DNA and through our grandparents and our grandmother, but it's because you were never taught that that's incorrect.
Yeah.
So in your mind, you think that the way that you're parenting is the issue, because remember, a lot of the, look at Murder Inc. and stuff like that here in the city, and you look at a lot of the things that are happening. So a lot of these people be like 20s, 19, and then you'll find those very few that's like 30 and stuff like that or whatever. You got to look at it like this. If a parent has mental health issues that they pass on to the child, that child, remember, the child is going to get older at some point. So that child is going to grow up having issues, unresolved issues that they didn't realize they had.
Yeah.
So guess what? That parent now has a child.
Called generational
Yeah.
curse.
And they keep passing it on and keep passing it on because you think that what you're doing is correct. And when somebody attempts to approach you about something or whatever, you know, my aunt, got a lot of them too, but one of my aunts, she told me once before, I had went to her a while ago and had a conversation with her about something, and she pretty much told me, like, yo, yeah, you want to be mindful of the love that children receive, but what you don't want to do is ever block children from having an abundance of love. It don't matter where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Children need to be loved.
Yes.
They do. And it was this thing, and it had once said, if the children aren't warm, meaning through love, through the village and stuff like that, the children will burn the village down to seek warm and to seek love.
Damn.
And that's what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening in our society today, especially here in Baltimore. Like, that is so deep. I've never even heard of that. I've never heard of it.
Oh, I be tapping. I be on
You
that
do?
boards and when I be
You do?
listening, I be
Okay.
tapping because
Really?
I
He'll
know
be
because
serious most of the time.
I
He
love
just got-
children, right?
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
like for me, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. My youngest daughter, like, yo, she is like, she like here when you, no matter what she doing, she might grab an iPad with her, but she like right here because she enjoys that love, and when, and you can tell when other people are doing, because it's uncommon. They want to be detached and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy because for all the things that I personally feel like my father didn't do, one of the things that he would do was on Fridays when he would get off work, he used to work at this mechanic shop, famous one. I can get into it, but he would come home with two things, and it's the small things, right? My father would come home with a puzzle book and I can't remember the name of that cookie brand, but he would bring a pack of cookies, and his thing would, for us, would be to, all right, you do the puzzle, you figure out this, and then you can do that and stuff like that. That was one of the things that he did. So for me, while my schedule can get busy, to sit around at the table and to just play board games and stuff like that, but the atmosphere has to be there for it. You can't do it when the atmosphere isn't there, and that's why, like, I'm big on, like, atmosphere, energy and stuff like this, or whatever the case may be. Like, even at my place, I got a air purifier, but of course, you know, you got the circulation and stuff like that from the air conditioner and all that other stuff. But like, I need that, like, because when you walk in and you see organization and you see the air purifier and you got that one little plant. It don't have to be a big plant. But it's the atmosphere when you walk in, you see it, it just makes you, I be sleeping so peacefully. Even I'm driving the car I'm driving. I was psyched out one day. I was messing with it, and it had a setting on there that said smart air. And what it does is, it literally will, and you can smell the air change in the car. It'll pretty much suck everything out and recycle it, and it's almost like you driving with the windows down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Atmosphere is
yeah,
important.
yeah, it is. So, do you think? Well, I wanted to ask you, but first, with what you were saying, do you think that there's a way, because mental health starts, like you said, generationally, right?
Absolutely.
So, how do we address our elders about the mental health? Because I'm big on, I have the Voice of Children Suffering in Silence. I want to help the kids, but do you think there's a way that we could address or have like a roundtable talk or bring this to our elders to address it? Because the healing, even if we start healing inside of us, what about how it happened to us? You know what I mean?
So that's the thing that, again, like I said, unfortunately with my position, that's the thing I always talk about at our little meetings. I'm like, yo, but this is that and the third. The people got to sit down. The leadership got to do this and that.
Yeah.
At some point in time, where you can still get advice from our elders, I would never, ever, ever in my life say I ain't trying to hear what they talking about.
Right.
Because
Absolutely
what?
not.
Wisdom nowadays, at one point you can say, all right, it come with age. I mean, it come with gray hair and stuff like that. It come through when you look at how it used to be. Some of us remember the dial-up tone, right?
Yeah.
Where they get on the internet, breathe, and then they click on, and then you might.
She young. She might not remember that.
You
She
don't
like,
remember that?
she young. You can tell. Like, no, she don't
So-
remember
The
that.
internet just popped right off for me.
Yeah,
Hey, did you ever have what kind of phone you call it?
The track phone?
No, what? No,
Sure.
the,
Oh, that,
That's
yeah.
that.
Nah.
you don't know how to use them?
I know how to use it. I know you gotta hit the number, then you gotta let it go. Hit the next number.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know how to use it,
Yeah.
but I ain't
But you
never-
ain't never use it?
She
No.
probably
You
never
ever
even
used
had
a
a house
house
phone.
phone?
She never had.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Oh, you did?
okay.
Okay.
We
Oh,
had a
you
house
did.
phone.
Oh,
Okay.
So you had some old school parents then. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. But like, so some of that stuff, it's like we're at a day and age where it's like, okay, I don't feel like personally we can present this to them. We just have to observe and take from what they did and say, okay, this is what we can do. Like, I believe that generation, I don't know what to say about the generation, most of them. But I'm just
Don't
saying,
you
I
up
feel
on
like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, though, the thing is, we got to learn how to say, okay, we got to build this. Like, we got to build a platform. Like, somebody called me the other day, I can get into it, but, like a while ago when I was telling you about people comments and stuff like that about the show. What else is happening?
Yeah.
Who else is doing what?
Yeah.
We need to create these spaces now
To have
where
this conversation.
everything is being done.
Yeah.
How does somebody go on a show, create a show on the airways, and all they doing is fighting the whole show, and people viewing in and they tuning in, they tuning into this stuff, right? But then when you got people from our own community trying to create things like this, it's like, oh, I ain't sure. But then you'll flip on the show, and all our people doing is fighting each other the whole damn show. There's nothing beneficial going on whatsoever.
And
And
There's
that
nothing
goes
that you can.
viral.
That's what I'm saying.
All
And
the
nothing
time.
that you can take from it and say, I can apply this in my life outside of how to knock a bitch out. That's it.
Yeah.
So we gotta, as far as the elders, I feel like now is our time to take from them.
Hold on.
And-
Pause. Are you calling us elders?
No,
No,
my
she was
question
asking
was
about
because a lot of trauma that we've all experienced realistically came from our elders.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
as we in this generation, and I'm just gonna say some of
I
us.
really,
we-
you know, wait, I'm gonna have to pause because I really feel like it was traumatic things that happened to us when we were younger, but it really, really built character in us.
I mean,
a lot
absolutely.
Of the ways.
Pain has purpose. Okay,
that's
you know what I'm saying? Even with the things that I've gone through in my life, like I would not be sitting here with the Recipe podcast to talk about the recipes of healing and trauma. I would not be this person. I know you guys fight, and y'all know it's a kennel in here. Okay, y'all know Puppy Obsession is a sponsor for this show, so understand that all animals are okay in this reporting. They just that's the littlest ones, and they doing the most. But you know, when y'all walk through upstairs, y'all probably was like, what is this? This is an outreach center for children. And I would not be an advocate for children who suffer in silence if I did not go through what I went through. So I'm not mad or angry or anything, but the same way I have been blessed to find healing, to find peace, to be on this journey of being a
people.
yes, and I mean I'm helping the children, you know, and I'm helping moms and dads that are my age. Alhamdulillah. But I would also love to reach back to our elders and be like, you know, you probably went through some. You want? I be trying to give everybody a hug, but I feel like you want to talk about it. Like, how can we help you to heal? Because I don't want you to die this way. I went to an old man's funeral, and this is no lie. Went to this old man's funeral, and his face was so angry. I never saw a person in a casket angry. I swear, y'all. If
He want to
I'm
die.
talking about
He was mad 'cause he
angry,
died.
mad, and I said to the person I went to the funeral with, I was like, you know, did he have a hard life? Like, what happened? And he said, only thing I could think is, you know, him and my grandmother, they broke up, but my grandmother still took care of him to the end. She cooked him dinner, walked it down to his house. She moved out her own house, moved up the street from him, and she would walk his dinner down to his house, but she never took him back. And she was like, he was just always mean. I said, damn, like, I never saw somebody in a casket. I'm talking about face like he was ready to fight. And I'm like, yo, this is scary. It's just like, y'all all calm. So when I think about our elders who have gone through things that have made us go through things, we're even having conversations that they didn't have. I know they was playing spades, you feel me? And they was drinking and partying, and that's their way of dealing with and coping with the things that they went through. They didn't have these conversations, and then some of them did go to church and catch the Holy Ghost and then went right back and played spades again. You feel me? So they didn't really, that's the reason everybody is saying, not everybody, but a lot of people are saying now, like, oh, I don't believe in therapy. It's because you were taught that what happened in this house, stay in this house. You don't go out here telling your business to nobody, and you better not go to school and tell nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? So because those things were implemented inside of us mentally, it changed a lot of people's mentality to how they should find healing. Like, and they might think that they may be able to find it within themselves. So when I said reach back to the elders, that's what I was really kind of talking about. But I understand 1,000% of what you're saying, because they still are our elders, and they still might tell us to go sit our asses down.
And we need to go sit our asses down.
So we're going to do our part and help the kids. But, you know, just because we definitely way past time, but y'all know that's because it's jolly. But anyway, what is there anything you would like to touch on when it comes to mental health?
More so, I feel like people see mental health as a weakness. That's why like a lot of people don't talk about it. And like, I'm one of those people who used to grow up, because like that was instilled into me. Like, we don't talk about that, you know, like, get over it, go do something. You know what I'm saying?
Don't
like,
be weak.
Yeah, don't be weak. So like, now being older and like actually dealing with somebody who has like anxiety and stuff like that, really opened my eyes a lot. It's like, bruh, mental health, like, there's nothing wrong with speaking on or talking about your mental health.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs like certain outlets where though they feel safe in their feelings. And I feel like a lot of times, like, that's why a lot of people really be dying, because people see mental health as an illness, as a weakness. Nobody want to be weak. So everybody want to one-up somebody so they can be top dog. Instead of just sitting down and reflecting on themselves, like, damn, I should do this. Maybe I can change my life like this. People don't really, you know, think too much about that. Or if something don't work out, then everything is just downhill for people. Instead of them, you know, like, just dusting off their shoulders and getting back up again. And I feel like, especially with my generation, like, as soon as something don't work for people in my generation, they give up. Yeah, they give up. Or they go try to blow up somebody, they go try to kill somebody, because they don't know what else to do. Why it also goes back to that elders, because that elders ain't show them another way too. So it's like, it's just a lot of like back and forth with the mental health, especially like, you know, with the younger people, because it's like, you feel it, you know what's going on inside you, you don't know how to embrace it, you don't know how to talk about it, because you just don't want to be weak.
Right.
And it took me a minute to really understand that I can go to somebody, like, I can be like, oh yeah, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling out of place, like I feel like, you know, stuff ain't really working out right now. And like, you know, back then I'm like, man, you won't ever catch me saying nothing like that. Or like, I'm at a therapist appointment, I'm just sitting there like, what's up? Like, you know, tell me what's wrong so I can maybe go fix it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, but now being older, it's like, I feel like I've been through enough to really like help other people, especially like people younger than me,
Yeah.
so they don't do like certain things I did, like especially like keeping in like a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings
Yeah.
that probably would have just changed if I just would have spoke.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what you don't process out of your mouth, and a lot of times we think we're processing it because we be having our private conversations with ourselves. That's all good and everything, but you know you was talking to yourself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like yourself is not going to really lead you always the right way, because parts of yourself, you know, we all got that good and that bad. And sometimes the bad be like, girl, shut up, we don't got to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, stop even focusing on that. You know what I mean? So that's why it's important to have that conversation out with somebody else, so that you can get that third person, because you already got your two. You know what I mean? So that is so good that you found a place to feel comfortable in a space where you can say, like I heard you saying earlier, like your music helps you out of your dark spaces. People are afraid to even acknowledge that they do have dark spaces sometimes. So I'm glad that you said that, and I'm hoping and praying that you will also be an advocate for young people to get therapy and get help and speak and use their voice, because your voice is your healing. It's the gateway to your healing journey. So, okay, did you have anything else to say? Because I don't want to leave my other special guest out. Oh, did she roll?
What I want to say is, mental health can also be cured by praying your way through. Sometimes a lot of people tend to forget about praying and tend to place God in their life, or Allah in their life, you know. And that's a major key to success. You can't walk through life not being prayed up and thinking everything is going to be all right, because it's not. You know, you got to stay prayed up. So just stay prayed up, stay silent, and love on who loves you, and get help if you need it, and don't be afraid to speak about it.
Absolutely.
And because what you could be going through, trust and believe somebody else going through 10 times, 20 times worse than what you're going through. So don't feel alone, baby.
And I'm a piggyback off that pretty much. Like, everything is like, it's there, it's solid.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that, because I believe that when you implement him, I had my fair shares of my trials, that he literally, listen, okay, I went to go see a friend today, and he crashed out. And, he, you know, as I was talking to him, he was like, man, I ain't never nothing for this day or whatever, but, you know, bruises, you know, screws, whatever. But now he up when he walking around or whatever. And I felt bad when he first called me, because I was been supposed to go see him, but life was life. And literally, I was supposed to go do this, go take care of this business, but he called me. And when he called me, I'm like, you know what? This is my man. Like, this is really my guy. Let me go. And I brought that up because, like, that's another sign that, like you said, you gotta pray. You gotta pray to the Most High. Like, you can't leave him outside of your life.
Yeah.
You can't. And then my other thing is, like you said, you know, love up on those who love up on you.
Yeah.
Like, it's clear. Somebody rock with you, they rock with you, you're going to be able to see it.
Yeah.
But then the ones who don't, you're going to be able to see, like, hey, I'm going to give you a slither. But then the ones who do, they're going to, like you said, they're going to love up on you.
Yeah.
And that's very important, because everybody needs somebody to love them.
Yeah.
Even as a man, like, you can't say, like, oh, well, I want to, like, yeah, we talk about loyalty and stuff like this, but that would come, but I feel like the loyalty should be in front of that or whatever. But, yeah, remember, like, I don't know about these children being our future, but they supposed to be.
I know you're not talking about the ones right there, okay?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, because he looked over there. Hold on.
You always attack with your people.
I'm just saying, that's all.
I don't know, but he was definitely talking about the youth. Y'all need to get y'all shit together.
They don't say that like that.
No,
Don't be hard on
somebody
them.
need to speak to them.
Or beat
Because
their ass.
y'all are literally wilding out. Like, what is wrong with
I
y'all?
used to get my ass whipped. I don't know what happened.
What is
That's
wrong with
right
you?
there.
You want to
That's
know
something
what?
that
You want to know what? A young man told me today. He said, "Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I used to look at life like a video game, and I looked at life like a literally."
And you don't come back.
Oh my God!
Ain't
you
no
don't come
game
back.
over. Ain't no extra
He said,
life.
"I look at life like a video game until reality hit me." And the reason why I looked at life like a video game is because I know what I'm doing could get me into some shit, but I never got into shit to realize what shit is.
Some people.
My
it's too
bad
late.
with the shit word.
Oh,
But
no,
you understand what I'm saying? Like, until reality hits these kids,
Yeah.
which sometimes is too late,
Yeah.
they don't believe that shit is true.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think a lot
So-
of kids though are really like, I'm not giving excuses, right, or trying to coddle. I'm not trying to coddle the kids. I am the advocate for kids though, and this is the voice of children suffering in silence in this building. I'm just saying,
They
also
they
live-
are bringing a lot of hurt.
they are right, but this is the thing, right? Okay, a lot, and every child has a story. You killed it. Get out of here.
That's amazing.
That was good. Anyway, every child.
Let him get that over.
Every kid has a story the same way we all have stories. Like you said, when you was a kid, you got beatings and it got you together. You told me you got beatings, you got you together. But unfortunately, not everybody even.
Don't try to leave yourself up.
No, I got one beating in my life, and yeah, and
That
and
was sufficient.
literally we both started laughing because my father was like, "Why are you not crying?" And I was like, "Why would I be crying? Like what? I've been preparing for this beating my whole life because I watched my brothers; they got beatings my whole life, and I never got
But
one."
what
So-
I'm saying is, until you seeing that what you're doing is wrong, until you basically action for every reaction.
Yeah.
Right. So you knew that it was going to be a consequence to what you did, right? To
absolutely,
your
yeah.
actions, because it was a consequence.
Yeah.
In life, these children have no consequences.
So some of them do. So because I used to work with the kids in group homes and foster care, and they would come through DJS. Coming out of DJS, I'd be waiting for them to get released from jail. That's coming from jail, from court. I would be waiting for them to get released. And some of them I never met before. So immediately they just like, you want to take me to go, because they know they got a check. You know what I'm saying? They know we about to go shopping or whatever. But they be like, yeah, because I'm trying to go around the way. You just got out of, I just got you out, and you're supposed to be going to your placement. Well, I ain't gonna lie to you, because they always used to tell me the truth. Like, you know, you've been cool this whole time. You've been nice to me. Like, you've been different from all the other people. So I'm just gonna tell you, I ain't staying there. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my stuff off, but I'm not staying there. You know, and I would be having, then now I gotta get deep. Like, come on, like, let's have this open. Like, come on now, don't do me like that, because I got a good record, okay? So, you know, but I'm just saying that to say, they already, that child just got a consequence. And already in their mind,
Did they?
I mean,
Because
they
once
were in
they
jail.
got out, you took them shopping. Once they got out, you went to go get them something to eat.
Okay,
so
first of all, the
realistically,
state set that up.
Was it what?
Okay.
But realistically, was it a consequence? Or
Okay.
did you just make it look like Disney World after you just did some shit and got out of jail? So now your repercussion ain't in your mind. You ready to go back round the way.
But they just got out of jail. Like,
And when they got out of jail,
yeah, they did get those things. Yeah, because they still was awarded a state.
yeah.
So, you know, honestly,
So what was the
once again, not talking about what the consequence is, like, the state were awarded a state. All of my clients were awarded a state. They were in care. So care clearly didn't set up for them to have nothing but, and my services was to just pick them up, make sure they get to their placement. So care, the state of Maryland should have set up something to make sure that when they got out that they didn't feel like it was Disney World, and not just send them to a home, but actually make sure that they're going to a program or have things set up for them.
Mm-hmm.
I used to become that love that he's talking about these kids need, which is why, by
But
God's grace and his
sometimes-
mercy, all of my clients, but one, All of them, I ain't gonna lie. One of them, she in jail right now. But the rest of them, they all went to college, got degrees, did well, and they all still thank me to this day and became good because I had to give them that piece that they was missing, that love that he's talking about. Because the state wasn't giving them everything else. They was just, let me just dish out this money because we want them to stay quiet so we can continue to get money for them. So, okay, so we are so out of time right now because, the security over there on the other side, he going to knock me out if we don't go in there. It's my studio, okay? But anyway, listen, I felt it from across the room. But thank you so much.
Security.
That's
security.
Oh, no, I'm talking about this security, not this one. This one over here is tied, too. The security back there is like, I'm trying to get something to eat and tied. But no. But thank you to my... Yo, you dumb. Thank you to my special guest, my wife. Let me thank her first. Thank you for being on the show tonight, my love.
Absolutely.
And thank you to our newest guest. You are more than welcome to come back and sit in this chair anytime.
I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Tell everybody where they can find your music.
So on all streaming platforms, y'all can type in GGR, and then we got BOOG. That's on all streaming platforms, GGR Boog. And then follow me on Instagram, ggr.boog.
Okay. Well, we make sure you put them links down in the comment section so people can just hit the link for each one, and and then they can stop doing the little circle thing. The producer be doing some weird stuff back there. But thank y'all for tuning in tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure you hit that share button and make sure you go and support my new friend. Good night.
Good night.
Peace.